Hello, hi guys, welcome to Two Dogs Podcast. Dr. Ali here.
And I'm Dr. Ingky, and welcome to the Two Dogs Podcast whereby two medical doctors speak on a lot of things non-medical.
Non-medical,
right?
yeah.
Right. So today's topic, right? I'd say it's one of the hottest topic in
recent times.
You will see it in papers, you will see it online and all, and then you might even hear your father and mother talk about it. Even sometimes if you go to the market, right, people actually talk about it. All right.
What are you talking about?
No, it's not. It's not chicken. It's not Bitcoin.
All
right. But actually, it's inflation.
Oh, inflation. Yes.
All right. So now inflation is actually normal. You know.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's growth.
Yeah, it's growth.
It's
you know,
growth.
every year we have inflation because every year we want to earn more.
Correct.
So when you get a raise in salary, naturally things will go up in price.
Correct.
Because other people want to earn more as well. So inflation is normal.
Yes.
Right. But I would say that there is abnormal inflation.
What do you mean by abnormal
That
inflation?
means that inflation which surpasses the rate of people's
Salary,
income.
income.
Yeah. So generally, it's what they call by hyperinflation.
Okay.
It means anything above the rate of your salary growth. And generally, salary growth is roughly about 4 to 6% per year.
Around there.
So anything above that is
Yeah.
called hyperinflation, and that's the thing. That's the problem these days. Right?
Things have just shot up.
Shit has shot up so expensive.
Crazy high.
So
it's
expensive.
not 3 to 4% shoot up.
No. It's more than
30
that.
to 50%.
Yes.
And a lot of things.
So those in Malaysia would know this shop. It's like a dollar store. It's very, very cheap stuff. It's called
DIY?
No, it's called Eco.
Eco.
The one they sell things for 2.10, right? You guys know, right? Eco. Gan. Okay. So it sells for $2.10.
Okay.
All right. Means everything that is inside
Anything.
is 2 ringgit 10
Anything is 2 ringgit 10
Everything is
cent.
2 ringgit 10 cent.
Okay.
Right.
That's like a 50-cent shop.
Yeah. It's like in America they call it the dollar store lah.
Yeah,
All right.
but it's less than a dollar.
In Japan they call it the 100 yen store.
Yes,
all right. So it's
yes,
like Daiso.
yes. All
So
right.
they sell everything for $2.10. Now
Okay.
earlier this year they announced that they're increasing from $2.10 to $2.20. All right.
Okay.
So okay lah, 5% increase. It's not much.
Okay.
2 months after they announced it, they announced that they're going to increase again from $2.10 to $2.40.
Wow, okay.
So it's actually a 15%
increase today.
Right. And this is the budget store, you know. This is the low end store, the budget store. Food have gone up.
Petrol has gone up.
Petrol has gone up. All right.
Chickens have gone missing.
Chickens have gone up. Even though in Malaysia it is the certain chicken products they have ceiling prices.
Yep.
Right. But again, it has gone up really.
Correct.
All right?
Overall.
The haram meat, pork, has gone up 50% in 2022.
A lot.
50%.
50%. They want you to...
In 2022,
They want
price of pork has gone up 50%.
They want you to, be halalkan and eat chicken and save 20%.
Hey, but chickens are not that cheap, because whole chicken is controlled item. But chickens that are cut up, those are not controlled.
They can go any price,
They
right?
can go for any price, and they are really expensive these days, right? And because of that, has increased, your basic necessities like fuel has increased,
Correct.
Sugar, salt, everything has increased.
Everything's
So
increased.
Everything is more expensive now.
Yeah. And gone are the days when roti canai was 50 cents.
Oh, no more.
No, now it's like
No
180.
more. Now it's like $1 something already.
150, 180.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Gone are the days whereby you can go out with 5 ringgit. You go to a shop and you can have a nice breakfast with a drink.
Yeah, we used to have a shop here sells rice with curry chicken.
Yeah.
For 5 ringgit.
Yeah. No more already. I think now it's like
Now it's how much? Kan berapa? 7 ringgit.
7 ringgit. So
see,
basically
the
50%.
the 5 ringgit shop has 5 ringgit rice shop has gone by 40%.
Yeah, so it's gone up 40%.
40%, that's crazy.
Yeah, so this is what inflation does. And unfortunately, when you have such quick inflation, usually your salaries don't really catch up. And people kind of feel the pinch.
Yes. Severe pinch. So today's topic is how are we going to fight inflation? Or
right?
at least manage inflation.
Yeah. So there are strategies that you can do to help to manage, I would say, to survive inflation, right? Because we cannot control inflation, right?
Correct.
Only the government can
You
do it.
manage yourself so that you don't feel the pinch so much. If you're already feeling the pinch,
Yes,
how are you
correct.
going to manage it and make yourself more bearable?
Yeah, so how do you survive inflation? Actually, tip number 1 is actually to cut away or to reduce the amount of luxury, I would say luxury things that which you, or I would say the general comforts in life, right? Reduce the general comforts in life. Example, right? I've seen a lot of people, right? They have to go to Starbucks on a daily basis.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
Okay, the coffee is like $12 for an Americano.
Correct.
And sometimes up to 18 ringgit
For Frappuccino.
Yeah, for Frappuccino.
And it goes up to 20
Yes.
for those fancy
All right.
ones.
You can actually make the same cup of coffee at home
Yeah.
for $2.
$2.
Yeah, $2. And Americano, if you actually buy the Nescafe, the instant one, you can actually make it for even less than $1.
Less than $1.
Yeah.
So, but if you're going, let's say, fresh beans,
if let's say you do really fresh beans,
it's about $2.
Yeah, it's about $2 to $3.
If you're going latte, it'll hit about $4.
Yes.
So that's it.
Yeah. So what I'm thinking is you might want to cut back on all this luxury stuff. All right. I would say eat home more often.
Yes.
All right. So basically, reduce all these expensive coffees. Stop going to cafes. Spending so much on food and drinks. And you actually realize that it actually compounds a lot. Let's say, example, on a daily basis, if you have to drink a $12 latte, right?
Yes, and you cut down by to 4 ringgit.
Yeah, and you cut down by 4 ringgit.
Five,
let's
say 5.
Let's say 5 ringgit.
7.
So let's say it's $7
Times 2.
per day. All right, $7 per day.
times
Or let's say that times 2 lah. In your case, you drink a lot lah. Let's times
Okay, 1 lah, 1.
Okay, 1 lah. Let's say 1 lah. Easy
7
lah.
ringgit.
7 ringgit times 30 is about 210.
210.
Ringgit.
And that's one item.
And just one item.
One
and
item.
per year is like 2,000 something. Right?
That's a lot.
Yeah, 2,000 plus.
2,005.
And this is just cutting coffee.
Correct.
Nothing.
No, just cutting the brand, not cutting the coffee.
No. Yeah, sorry.
Cutting the brand.
Cutting where you buy it.
Yeah, cutting where you buy it, getting it, making it yourself.
Yes.
Making it yourself.
Correct.
All right, I've got one. Cut back on your car.
Oh yes, definitely.
Yeah, scale down on your car.
Yes.
Because let's say if you own a luxury car, sell it off, get rid of it.
Yep.
Scale down. If you have mid-range ones, scale it down.
Yep.
Because the lower end cars, number one, they consume less petrol.
Correct.
They consume less petrol.
Correct.
They still get you from point A to point B. The function has been served, right? And your monthly mortgage or your monthly repayment is lesser.
And your maintenance, right? The hidden costs, you
Yes.
change your spare parts, your engine oil is generally much more affordable.
Even your tires.
Yes. Especially your tires.
Especially your tires.
Tires are
Ridiculous,
expensive.
they're damn expensive.
Ridiculous expensive, yes.
Suddenly, you have one of those 19-incher ones, and then they're like,
Yes.
yours how many inch? Your
Mine
Outlander?
is
It's what,
my
20?
4-wheel drive is 18-inch.
18-inch.
18-inch. And that itself is expensive,
Yes.
really. And I don't buy the high-end ones. I actually ask them for as cheap as possible.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you're not racing anyway. So
Yeah, exactly.
It's just comfort drive, that's it. So that's another thing that you can consider scaling down.
Yes.
Like it or not, you can't take the Grab anymore.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
the prices have shot up.
tremendously.
30 to 50%.
Yeah.
It no longer makes sense. It actually makes sense. Actually, now's the best time to get a car.
Yeah,
If
actually,
you need a car.
yeah, if you need a car, this is a good time to get a car, especially and also if it's possible, right? Find out who travels to the same area, and maybe you can even carpool together.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
You can share costs. Right. All of you guys can share costs and can carpool together.
Yeah.
And
But electric cars, what's your take on it?
my take on electric cars
Not
is
ready yet.
I would say technology is still too new.
Still too new, right?
It's still too new. The problem with electric cars is there are not many charging stations. Number
Correct.
one. Number two, charging an electric car actually isn't that much cheaper compared to a petrol car.
So I've done the calculation before. Over the course of 5 years, if you change the battery once,
No.
change one
As
time,
long as you change the battery, it's gone already.
gone already.
The battery is
It's more
expensive.
expensive than you pumping petrol.
Yes.
So as long you don't do
the
that,
lithium-ion batteries are really
yeah,
expensive.
it's crazy. But China has come out with one. Goes 600 miles.
Yeah.
And
Miles or km? Miles is a lot, km, I think 600 km.
km.
Yeah.
Maybe lah. Yeah, but it's double of Tesla.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing is they don't do charging station.
Oh, then
They do subscription and change battery packs.
Change battery packs. That means what? Every couple of days you have to change your battery packs.
You already paid the subscription, so it's good.
It's too expensive. I think the problem with electric cars is if there's a problem with it, if it breaks down and all, then changing the parts are expensive because electric cars run on a lot
Electronics.
of computer power. Yeah,
Correct,
it runs
correct,
on computer
correct.
chips.
One chip goes
Yes,
missing and
the
and
chips,
you're done for.
the batteries and all. Imagine if your computer and your handphone can give you issues from time to time. Imagine a car, if it breaks down.
So again,
no lah,
to fight inflation,
don't buy
EVs
electric car first. Don't get
not
Tesla.
there yet. All right,
Tesla has fired the staff already.
It's still a luxury item,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
next.
point number 3. All right. This might surprise a lot of people. Right? Use your credit card. All right. third way to fight inflation is get a credit card and use your credit card.
Use your credit card.
Now,
everyone's fighting not to use a credit
Everyone's
card.
saying don't use a credit card, right? But use your credit card. Now, in order to use a credit card, first of all, you must understand. Yes, you must understand how much you're spending on a monthly basis.
Alright.
Don't overspend, right? It means that if you earn 3,000, don't spend 3,005. Right? Spend only a fraction of that.
Yep.
But the reason why you put it on a credit card is because nowadays, right, it's easier for you to track your finances if you put everything into one statement.
True.
Right? Unless you're really financially savvy, and you take a pen and paper, or you have those apps, and every time you buy something, you
chart it.
No, but one of the way is a lot of places now have either e-wallets or those like Visa, Wave, and all.
Yep.
So even if you buy a cup of coffee for $5, you can even use your Wave. Pay. And what that happens is end of the month, right? You can actually track your finances
and you can
how
see
much you've spent. In front of you, your eyes, you can see how much you've spent and then from there you can plan. What can I scale back on? Am I spending too much on certain things? Can I scale back on it?
Actually, come to think of it, right? The next time if they ask to do a survey, I want to tell them, can you make your app or your online portal to break down?
Yeah, actually there is. I think certain banks, right, their mobile app can do it. I think the Maybank can do it.
Really?
Now, another reason why you should use a credit card is the more credit card user you get points, cashbacks.
Yes.
Right? Points and cashbacks are especially cashbacks these days, right? Even though it's not a lot, but you might get a 20 ringgit cashback, a 50 ringgit cashback.
Correct.
And over time, it compounds up to a few hundred ringgit to almost 1,000 a year.
Correct.
And what you mentioned, points.
Yep.
The points can
change back into value.
Value, the vouchers,
Correct.
right? It allows you to offset, and because of that, credit card, as long as you are financially savvy and you don't overspend,
And
you're
you're disciplined.
really good tool.
Correct. And you're disciplined. Don't go across the month and then they start
And
charging
always
you.
pay back every month.
Correct.
Always pay back.
Otherwise, you'll be charged 1.5% on top of that. Then you start losing the value of it.
Yes.
But here's a very nifty trick. Don't exchange your points for whatever that's in the catalog.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. Go for the vouchers.
Yes, always go for vouchers.
Go for the voucher. Wait
Cash
for
voucher.
sale.
Yes, cash voucher.
Then use it again.
Yes, correct. Always go for cash vouchers.
Cash voucher. That's the best way to go.
You're right. You're right.
So again, that sort of like stretches your ringgit.
Yes.
So all the tactics we're doing here is basically that. Okay, the next one is not going to be very popular.
Which is?
Get rid of your pet.
Get rid of Okay, now
I'm going to get a lot of hate mail.
how are you going to propose that they get rid of the pets?
Either you get rid of a pet or you don't get another pet. Stop at whatever you're having.
But to be honest, right, pets are really expensive, right?
You have to agree with me.
Yeah,
Pets are expensive.
I have to agree with you. Pets are expensive.
So if you have a cat, stop at one. Don't let it breed. As much as you want to see that little feline and have babies, right?
Yeah.
Every single one is like a child.
Yeah, and buy cheaper food. Cheaper cat food, cheaper
You
dog
can't.
food.
Cats and dogs. At least dogs, they might be able to eat your leftovers. The
Yes.
cat won't eat your leftovers.
True.
And that's not
True.
including if they fall sick.
Yeah.
They cost more than a child.
Yeah, the vets are expensive.
Vets are expensive. They've got shorter lifespan, and apparently you get more emotional with them also.
Okay, so
Not to mention you start buying all the
alright,
accessories and clothes.
So everyone
yeah.
have to find a way to dispose your pets.
Well, don't dispose lah, all right? Unless you want SPCA will haunt me. But probably don't increase the number.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
increase the number,
Yeah.
or get them neutered.
Yeah.
So they don't procreate.
Yeah. So next tip.
Next tip.
All right. Next tip, and this actually has nothing much to do with your expenses, but the next tip is actually to educate yourself. All right. Educate yourself financially. Educate yourself on other stuff, and at the same time invest back into yourself. Learn new things. No, because why? End of the day, right? When you have very high inflation, it will actually disrupt the economy. A lot of companies will downsize. And a lot of, especially when you start seeing multinational companies, the big companies, right, start downsizing. Generally, it is a statement that the economy is not good. So hyperinflation can cause recession or cause a dip in the economy, and you might be one of the ones who will lose your job.
Correct. Plus, if you stay in the same job and you don't upskill yourself,
Yes.
you're only going on an increment of 4 to 6%.
Or 4% per year.
But if you upskill yourself and you jump jobs,
Yes.
it's 15 to 25 to 30% jump.
Correct.
So that's another way to fight inflation by, again.
So upskill yourself,
Upskill yourself.
right? Invest in yourself. nowadays there are tons of these online courses. All right, you go online. My favorite is go to this website called like Udemy or something like that. Learn things.
Yes.
Learn new skills.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Learn new skills, or maybe it is something that you are already doing in your job, but
Get a certificate.
Yeah, you want a certificate, or you want to climb the corporate ladder. All right, this is actually one of the best time.
Yep.
All right, because if you can prove yourself invaluable to the company will keep you.
Correct. Correct. And if not, some other company might want you.
Yes, correct.
Which is probably just more valuable.
Correct.
Right. Next one. Educate yourself on financial tools.
Yes, correct.
Financial tools. And the financial tools, the most basic ones are usually your insurance. Why? You're going to buy it anyway. But apart from you buying it, people are going to sell it to you. And if you buy the wrong one, you're stuck.
Okay.
Because then it becomes a commitment. A really... You can't let go. If you let go, you burn all the cash. But if you continue paying with it, it's going to burn a hole in your pocket because you're trying to fight inflation. So be very savvy on what you're going to buy, so that it's appropriate to what you need. Most agents will sell you things like the life insurance. Fine, they package everything in, but the premiums are really high.
Yep.
You have to ask yourself, is that what I need at this moment? Like, for example, if you're a young person and you're very outgoing, there's a higher chance that you might perish or have accidents rather than, you want to stretch yourself, or you have a 36 critical illness kind of thing. So if you want to do a minimal coverage when you're much younger in your career, go for something that makes sense first. Just cover the bare necessities. It doesn't cost as much. It will be a fraction of the cost, yet you're well protected.
All right. So the last tip from me is very simple, but a bit controversial. Don't keep cash.
Don't keep cash.
Yeah. The reason why is this.
Cash doesn't grow.
Yeah. No, you actually lose. So basically, let's say if you keep cash, all right, and we are, let's say, in certain parts of the world, I think in UK, their inflation is already at 10%. So basically, right, if you have 1,000 ringgit, all right, if you have $1,000, next year is only worth 900. All right, next year is only worth 900. So you have lost 10%. So instead of keeping cash, what you should do is either take it, invest, or take it and pay off your mortgages.
That's good.
Yeah, because one of the issues with hyperinflation is most central banks, Bank Negara and all the central banks all around the world, they will raise interest rates to fight inflation.
Correct.
So when you raise interest rates, you end up paying the bank more interest. So if it's possible, if you have a little bit of excess cash, of course, keep some as emergency savings. Whatever excess, go and pay up your mortgage, or clear the mortgage as much as possible.
Correct.
Correct. That will actually, and then after that, once you've cleared, even you don't have to clear the whole thing. You clear part of it, right? You can then negotiate with the bank to reduce your monthly commitment.
Okay.
And that itself will then
helps a lot.
Yeah, it helps you.
Actually, that was part of my last point also, which is if you have the excess cash that you save from all the money from your Starbucks and everything, even if it's 200 ringgit, really dump it back into your mortgage. Yep. Your mortgage only, your flexi mortgage.
Yeah, your flexi mortgage.
Flexi mortgage. Don't dump it into the car.
Yeah, then there's no point in the car. Cars are all fixed already.
Don't dump into your car.
But apparently cars also these days have those flexi rates.
Oh really?
Well. Yes, they are.
Okay,
yeah.
That's new.
Yeah. They only introduced it, I think, like 1 or 2 years ago in Malaysia. But because prior to that, hire purchase is always fixed.
Yeah, fixed.
But they have that flexi thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
but
it's a bit. Yeah.
Do the house.
Yeah.
Do the house. You'll be very surprised, right? So let's say if you're paying well, I did a calculation. So if you pay around about 10 to 15% of your whatever that you're supposed to be paying. So let's say you're supposed to pay 1,500 for your monthly mortgage, and you add in another 150 to 200 ringgit, so that's 10 to 15%. You actually can reduce from, let's say, a 35-year, it'll go down to about 27.
Yeah. So you save 5 years.
8 years.
Yeah, 8 years, sorry.
8 years. You save 8 years of interest.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
And that's only on 150 to 200 ringgit on your mortgage of 1,500. So remember, 10 to 15% additional in can really reduce by about 8 years. No joke. And that's a lot of money, man.
Yeah, man.
Because most of it you're paying interest anyway.
Yes, you are right. You're right.
All right, so that's from us. A couple of tips for you to help sustain and stretch yourself so that you can sort of like manage inflation much better.
Survive inflation.
Survive inflation, all right? So we can't fight it, roll with it, but roll well.
Yeah.
So if you've got any other tips, right, just drop us a comment down there. What do you do to fight inflation? Maybe you've got some other tips that you've been doing.
Yeah,
maybe
you can share with us.
Yeah, share with us. We'll love to hear from you, and our viewers will also love to learn from you. And till then, we'll be back again next week on The Two Dogs. I'm Dr. Ali, signing off.
I'm Dr. Ingky. Have a good weekend.